RSN Hendo, man. You know, we back with it, man. You already know. You can follow me on Instagram, Hendo1211_11, or you can follow me on Facebook at Hendo Simmons.
Okay, so I think since the last time I seen you, you the first person that I done been able to double back with a second time and sit down and have a conversation with. And since the last time me and you talk, I feel like you did the exact thing that I'm hoping that I can have like interact with a lot of artists and watch them do is we sit down, we sort of chop it up about their journey up to this point, talk about what their plans is for the future, and then from the moment we stop being in contact with each other, I just see them, putting in work and just sort of going up. And that's really what you done did from the point in which we talked last. So just talk to me about what your mentality really has been this calendar year with some of the moves you've been making, with the releases you've been doing, and tell me what you see different in what you've been able to sort of accomplish in these first 5 months of this year as opposed to maybe where you was at last year or the year before.
Pretty much, man. My thought process has been like just hit the ground running, bro.
Okay.
Pretty much, and to not overdo things. Like I used to like over pinpoint issues instead of just going over them, figuring something out, and keep on rolling. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of been my momentum, kind of. Just to keep rolling, bro. You know what I'm saying? Life come with a lot of punches and a lot of shit that go on that you got to still function through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the fucking thing about life, though. You know what I'm saying? The fucking thing about life is like you just got to keep going, bro. Like you don't have a choice to sit back and wait or no, this ain't perfect. I can't do this. Like I just had to do it.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that becomes, it's easier to have that mentality when maybe you done got a lot of monetary success from music, or you done got a lot of outside success from music or material success from music. And it's so much harder to have that mentality when you still on the grind upward, to know like, even though you got this roadblock, you got to push past this roadblock. Even though, this specific thing you had a plan for A, B, and C, and by the time you got to B, something done threw something in your way, and now you got to go to
sure.
H.
Yeah.
And so it's real difficult to have that mentality. But I think it is one of the things that's so important about like an artistic journey, especially on an independent grind, knowing that when something get in your way, it's not going to be a big record label or A&R or a manager that's going to be able to really move those things out the way. Even if you do got somebody that's, like a team that's working with you, at the level where we at, like you still got to be the head of the team.
Yeah, you still got to sidestep. You got to know how to sidestep, man, for sure. And zero the lane. You know what I'm saying?
So talk to me about, even as you was pulling up, I think maybe it was like maybe a month ago, I was chopping up with my homie, Kevin, and I don't know if he sent me a inbox or we just was in person talking, and he was like, your favorite rapper, bro, you ain't got no guy.
Nah, for real.
We just sitting up and chopping it up. He was like, he just was talking about the song, and and that line has stuck with him, and I done seen how that line and my money stat like Texas straight to the stars. I just done seen how like the momentum that you done got behind the song, the momentum that you done got behind the importance of putting out a specific song, figuring out how you want to push the song, figuring out how you want to put visuals to the song, and really putting together a campaign around the song. And it ain't many times in the city that somebody done had, you could clearly say this person got the hottest song out, or it's a song that like multiple people in multiple areas of the city is listening to or sharing the video of or actively engaging with. And I feel like you done had this happen to you a couple times before.
For sure.
And so tell me, what it's like to plan out this campaign. Was it something that, of course, a lot of it does happen organically, but a lot does happen with, plotting ahead of time. So tell me what it's just been like for this campaign, for this track.
This campaign, I really wanted to plot more with this campaign, excuse me. I had recorded the song and it was just gonna be an intro. I really had wrote these lyrics like 2 years ago.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The before the verse, I wrote all that like 2 years ago, and I just never did nothing with it. I never had a beat or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I went to the studio, I rocked it out, and then from there it was like I wanted to plan, but it was like the time is now. You know what I'm saying? The weather was kind of clear. It was cold as hell, but it was like I gotta shoot this video. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna figure it out on the way. I'm gonna roll with the punches. But it's like from that standpoint there, like it gravitated towards a lot of people. And I couldn't believe it because like I low key was at my lowest point. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole reason this song happened is because a motherfucker messaged me on Instagram and sent me a video and was like, bro, you don't know me, but I fuck with your music, bro. And you know what I'm saying? This and the third. And I was like, damn, I was finna give up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is it right here, bro. Like this shit gotta go on the song and everything, bro. And I'm finna just keep my head down and run. You know what I'm saying?
And so what it's been like to sort of get that wind back underneath your, underneath your feet again? Like, has it, because I think one of the things that's really important about one of the important processes of being an artist is you create, and we sort of talked about this before, you create something and then you put it out there. And then depending on what the reaction is, sometimes it can sort of slow you down or it can sort of deter you or it can really push you forward. So have you felt yourself like even more motivated, even more inspired, seeing, just how many people are engaging with the track, connected with the track, and, listening to the track, enjoying it?
Yeah, I definitely can see it, and like it low key like let me know to stay humble. You know what I'm saying? Like to just stay focused, like hold your tongue. Like the tongue is powerful, man. And I just believe if we guard the tongue, you know what I'm saying? Like things will happen more how should I say it? More organic for us. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll happen a lot easier. And I feel like you also gotta know what you can appeal to a crowd though too. Like you can't just do something like jumping in the hood with guns and shit like that. Like you just gotta be your authentic self. That's what's gonna get people to fuck with you.
And then I seen too that I think it was at Exquisite that you performed
Escape, yeah,
Escape,
escape, yeah,
excuse
for
me, at
sure.
Escape, where you performed the track. So talk to me about what that experience was like. It seemed like y'all had I think one of the things that can also too, people can forget to do is like to create these moments when you, in the middle of your grind and in the middle of your journey, and appreciate some of these moments. And I felt one of the things that really that I experienced from the outside looking in was the moment of you getting up there and you performing a song, and the moment of, people knowing you gonna be there, you gonna be performing a song, even the pictures, the photos you was taking, the social media posts that you was taking. It was really a moment, I felt like, in the city. So just talk to me about what that, what getting booked for it to perform the song was like, and then talk to me about what the experience of that night actually was like.
Man, it's kind of crazy because like the whole reason I wrote the song is about drug abuse, low key, but like stacking yourself back up. You know what I'm saying? So like at that moment when I almost overdosed, you know what I'm saying? Like I was laying on the couch. First of all, I was throwing up in traffic. I popped in traffic, bro.
Okay.
I'm on the highway damn near, bro, throwing up in my lap, bro. Like, "Rah!" You know what I'm saying? And then like I went home, I'm sweating, and I just felt my heart slowing down, bro. And like I got on the ground, I crawled over to the tub. I turned the water on cold and I just threw myself in there, bro. Like, and like that opened my eyes and I was like, damn, I gotta do this shit for real. And then basically I come up with the song and then like I got people hitting me up, you know what I'm saying? Like to come perform it. Like, man, I fuck with this song. I can't stop singing this shit, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like, you gotta perform this shit. So when I performed it, I was worried because I'm like, damn, you got them nefs in the back of your head, and in Islam, they call them nufs, man. It's like that voice in the back of your head saying you can't do something negative, you know what I'm saying? Telling you to stray away, you know what I'm saying? I had that in my head, but then once I got up there and I'm like, I'm just gonna do this shit, motherfuckers had their phones out, cameras out, all type of shit. I'm like, damn, I ain't never had that happen at a show nowhere, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was invigorating, bro. I'm like, damn, they fucking with this shit. Like, who is that dude? And woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
It was just, and to open up for another big artist with a successful hit, because I think BRS Cash got like 500 million views on his video.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it was just crazy, bro. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, and even like I said, even from the outside looking in, like it really felt like a moment. Like I feel like since you released the track, the shooting the video for the track, putting the video out for the track, I seen you just got up with Film or Die, and y'all did one of the On the Blocks, right? That's for the video too.
Yes, sir. Right in the trenches.
I seen that was blowing up. And that was getting a lot of engagement and interactions, and that's one of the things. As a fan of the 815 music and a fan of artists, like I always. First thing I look for is like, do I enjoy the song? Like I don't care, how many people playing it, how many likes it got, how many comments it got. Do I enjoy the song? Do I enjoy the art? And then one of the things I also look for is, okay, how you finna push it? You just gonna put this out one time and one link and I'm never gonna see from it again, or you gonna keep on doing more with it? And then I also look to see like, okay, how is the city engaging with it? How is your community engaging with it? And just the engagement that you was getting from the On the Block, like
for sure.
I think that sometimes when it's sort of like it's weird on social media where you can be at a place where maybe if you got like up to 30 likes or maybe 5 comments or something, somebody could just see it and they'll just go by it. And
yeah, because they're gonna be like, oh yeah,
but if you get to a certain a certain number, like 80, 90 likes or a certain amount of comments, niggas sort of feel more inclined to like it, you know, because they see how many people is already gravitating towards it. And you sort of, I could see you hitting that threshold where it's like, yeah, niggas can't just see this video now and not like it or not comment or not share.
It's undeniable.
Yeah, because of the amount of interaction that it's already getting. So talk to me about what some of your next plans is to sort of to follow up behind that. Is it another single, another song? Is it a project? Is it something that maybe you already got in the works? Like, what's your thought about how you want to, you know, the next move that you want to put as we enter into the second quarter after you already sort of had a really successful first quarter?
My plan is to keep pushing Tetris. And also, I got a project coming with Jay Martinez, and that shit so fucking raw, bro.
Okay, y'all just shot a video for it too, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's a comeback song too. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will shit on you, man, and make you think you aren't who you are. You know what I'm saying? You got to show them again. I could do it again. You know what I'm saying?
And then what's y'all collaborative process been like? Like, how did y'all? When did y'all first link up? Have y'all worked together on music before? Or?
We worked together before, but we like never really had like a full song together. Like, I think I did a hook and I got a beat from Darius.
Okay.
When I was in the city, man, and then we did that record and he put it on his album and it did really well. And then we just had the chemistry though. It's just we just popped in like, fuck it, we gonna do it.
Okay.
Let's just do a whole project. Fuck it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How far along are y'all in the process of it?
We about 5 tracks in, man. We got some new shit coming, man. Some more visuals coming for sure. This is definitely gonna be different.
And then what's your mind state difference when going in onto like this collaborative project with Jay Martinez as opposed to what your, you know, process is when you individually creating something? Do you feel like it's a difference? Do you see a difference in how you are going about it?
It's definitely a difference because it's got to be a vibe, bro. Like the whole studio session got to be a vibe. It's got to be good vibes, positive vibes, pure vibes. You know what I'm saying? So like I like to just have fun. I don't want restrictions on shit. Like if I'm gonna do a whole project with somebody, like we got to be fluid and like, all right, we're gonna do 40 songs and we only gonna pick 20 of them. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I want to do it. Like I don't want to just be like, oh, let's just go off the field and then 8 months later down the road, you know what I'm saying? The song, the project sound different throughout the track. You know, you can't just listen through it all the way through. Yeah. You know?
Do you as you working on this project with him, do you also sort of see yourself, is that just your full focus right now is just this one project, or are you sort of working on this project with him and then, you know, off to the side, you working on your own thing, or is it right now this is just, you know, that's the number one, that's the only thing that you're working on, or you doing sort of like 2 things at once?
Right now it's kind of like more fluid.
Okay.
We doing that for sure.
But it's just whatever come.
Yeah, for sure. You got it, because you never know. You could be Pat, like that song Tetris. Like I had that shit on my phone for like 2 years. I never even did know. I was just in the car. Your favorite rapper, bro. He ain't got no car, and I wrote that shit down. And I was never did nothing with that shit.
Do you as you creating this, as you in the middle of creating this with Jay Martinez, do you feel like you can see like some type of specific difference in the way that you create with somebody as opposed to and I know we sort of talked about the creative process, but like when I do a song with somebody or when I work with somebody, sometimes I feel myself be like a little bit freer because I'm not necessarily the one coming up with the concept, coming up with the flow, coming up with okay, you already got the verse laid like this. Okay, that can sort of facilitate me where like I'm just gonna play off your flow like this, or maybe I'm gonna play off the last rhyme scheme that you used, or maybe I'll play off this concept that you used. And sometimes I feel myself be a lot freer in some of the collaborative efforts that I have, as opposed to when it's, you know, I'm from scratch just coming up with something, or when I'm just in the studio and it's just me and I'm sort of like I'm drawing up the inspiration and then I'm inspiring myself and then I'm running off with the inspiration. Do you feel yourself maybe like a little bit freer with somebody else sort of pulling some of the weight, or is it just sort of the same to you?
It's sort of the same because like you gotta have a way to stand out in every song. I feel like if you do a song with somebody, like you got to bring your own shit to the table. That's with anything. That's if you're going to build a building, if you're going to build a house, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all got to come together like minds, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Do great things. So I just feel like it's got to be free, it's got to be fun, and it's got to be wavy. You know what I'm saying? Or else it's just like, we going to toss this, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How often is you in the studio right now with in this point? Is it like a weekly thing?
Yeah, about every week. But we kind of do like, I like night sessions too though. Like I did an album with K Pistol, and we did like morning and night sessions. So like we got 2 different energies going. You up at 7 a.m. at the studio.
Okay.
And then, you know what I'm saying, you got tracks. Some nights you might do maybe 6-7 hours at night in the studio. This is a different vibe. It depends. But if you miss an opportunity though, you know?
Yeah. And so do you, I think for me, a lot of times being in the studio and being in the studio regularly, it helped me in my personal life too, where it felt like I got this outlet where it's like, as opposed to when I'm maybe necessarily not in the studio and I can sort of feel whether it's anxiety or whether it's stress, I feel this buildup that I don't necessarily get this let out of. And I sort of been finding sort of alternative ways for that with some of the different things I've been doing, as I haven't been actively writing and recording music a lot lately. Like for me, this is sort of one of those outlets. I do a lot of different other content with like political things. That's sort of like an outlet like that for me. I sort of been really getting into the gym. That's sort of been an outlet like that for me. But the studio, and I just left the studio today where we was just sort of like going through mastering old tracks, getting ready for releases and stuff like that. And so it's not the exact same experience that I used to have when I would go in there and I'm recording something and I can, let out the emotion of being in the booth and, listening to the music and then writing something out. And then I can, I went through something maybe 4 or 5 days ago and I wrote about it, and now I can go through and write it out, or I can go through and record it out, and I can sort of feel like some of the weight is lifted off of me from it. And so I always would feel like, when I was in the studio regularly and recording regularly, that I was in a more mentally healthy place. Do you feel like that's sort of something that you experience?
Yeah, I feel like it's the gym for me. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. But I mean, I know it come with good days and bad days. I know you go in there sometimes, just like, man, I can't think of shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like everything I wrote ain't hidden. You know what I'm saying? And you go back the next time, and you're like, damn, I'm glad I went the last time, because now,
yeah,
I know what I want to do. I know what sound I want to hear, what sound I want to create.
Okay.
That's where I kind of like, I like working with artists that like want to do something new. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's just like sport. Like, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker got a new type of trick. It's like, damn, that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What as you in this sort of process in your career, and in this process in your life, and you back in the studio regularly, and plans for releasing regularly, what is it that you sort of been listening to? Is you listening to only yourself? I know some people, when they recording, only thing they listen to is their own music. I'm for me, it's not like that. Like I'm always, I think as I've went through my life, I've always found either when I was younger, I would find it would be different artists. It would be like a different rapper I'm listening to, especially when I was younger and I was maybe keeping up with new releases more often. And then as I got to a certain place, it would be like sort of a handful of artists I would go back to, where, I'm going back to Pac, or I'm going back to Big, or I'm going back to Drake. I'm going back to Wayne, Carter 2 Wayne. Like whenever I feel like I haven't rapped for a long time and I'm trying to get back into rapping, like Carter 2 Wayne is like the Wayne that I'm going to. I need to hear the Mob or Fly In or Inside or Fly Out or Money on My Mind to just sort of get me back into my creative juices. But as I've gotten older, I've sort of found different genres of music that I listen to, where I think maybe in 2023, 2024, when I was recording some of the last projects that I put out, I was listening to a lot of more classic rock music, Fleetwood Mac. I started listening to some more different Bob Marley. I like Bob Marley's Exodus album a lot. I go back and listen to that joint. And recently, I was just talking to Black Heart Amir about this. I was with my girl, and she was listening to this Choosing Texas song by Ella Langley. It's this country joint that's been getting big recently.
Okay.
And then the next song that played was a Morgan Wallen song. I had never listened to Morgan Wallen before.
He raw.
I heard the song and I was like, hold on, man, what's this? Let me go back. And I went back, and I just sort of been binging Morgan Wallen music recently. So
yeah, he cold.
Yeah, when I was at the stew, Skinny was in, mastering some songs. When I step out to smoke, like I'm listening to these couple of Morgan Wallen tracks and shit. So what is it that you find yourself listening to these days as you in the stew and working?
Sometimes I don't even really like, as of late, I really don't listen to no music.
Okay.
Like I listen to my music every once in a while, but even then, like I don't want to oversaturate my ears, you know what I'm saying? But like I also want to keep my ears away from other people, because I feel like you get caught in mimicking. And not saying that everybody do it, but you get caught in mimicking a little bit. So it's like, if I know this is gonna be the run I'm going on right now, I gotta stay
just
away. Yeah, I gotta stay away. So I listen to a lot of like, and I don't want to bring religion to it, but I'm a Muslim, you know what I'm saying? So I listen to a lot of just Islamic teachings. I listen to like podcasts on like purpose-driven man. I listen to stuff that will keep my mind focused, because like I feel like when I overindulge in music, I get lost a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I try to like absorb whatever I can. I try to stay away from listening to music too much.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And that makes sense. Like I listen to music at a much lesser clip than I used to,
Nah, for real,
when I was
bro.
younger, I do a lot of reading. these days too, like whenever I'm reading something, I usually got like a movie soundtrack. I was watching this TV show called Paradise with my girl, and I ain't really fuck with the last season that they did, but that's the sign. No, yeah, it blew me with the last season. But whenever I watch a movie or TV show, I always double back and find the soundtrack for whatever it is. And so I've been listening to the soundtrack for that as I'm like sort of going through and reading books. I try to make sure I got a book or two that I'm always in a constant rotation of reading. So I do also understand that concept of, sort of blocking yourself off from music, blocking yourself off from what somebody else may be creating, and taking in things that, are more feeding your mind and more feeding your spirit, and then being able to use those things when you go back to creating again. So I definitely understand that. How much do you feel like that part of your journey, like your spiritual, your religious beliefs, have sort of played into the things that you creating now, and sort of the trajectory that you on at this moment?
A lot, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always been a Muslim since I was a shorty, but like I really recently started taking it serious like 2 years ago.
Okay.
With fasting and everything. So it's like, and like learning more of the Quran. So I just been like, I don't know, man. Like, it helped me a lot. It changed everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it got me up off my feet, because like I was stuck in my head. Like, I can't do this. Like, I'm not good enough. This ain't hard. This bullshit. This, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oversaturating things when like shit is already written out, bro.
Yeah.
Just do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop worrying about what you can't control, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh, damn, I got to be the flyest in the video. I got to have a Lamborghini pulling through.
Right.
And then, like, with Tetris, like, dude commented on the post. I'm like, hey, that's my car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never planned that. I'm like, I'm just going to go here. I like the elevator scene. I'm going to do that. And, like, whatever come with it. And we stumbled. We was literally just shooting a scene of me walking. And then it was like, damn, you got to get in front of that, bro. That's going to go hard. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. And it was like, damn, that's so eccentric, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just letting shit flow.
Yeah. Talk to me more about, because I feel like that's one of the things too that's really been important about the Tetris song, is that you put the song out and you got the visuals to accompany it, and it was a good push on the visuals, but also it was, it's a good visual representation of the music. So just talk to me about the day of doing the music video, what your experience with Lee May shot the video, right?
Lee May shot that for sure. Shout out 815 TV.
What your experience was like with Lee Mage, and just sort of talk to me about, was it a day? Was it a couple of days? What was the process like for the video for Tetris?
It was a day, bro. Like, whole time. It wasn't even no day. It was like maybe an hour. It was so cold out there, bro.
Okay.
Like, it was one of them days where like it was clear, and then all of a sudden snowstorm. You know what I'm saying? So like we shot, and like we got back in the car. Motherfucker couldn't even feel their hands for 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. But like, it was necessary. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely necessary and worth it for sure.
You see yourself, was that the first video you had did with Lee Mage, or had you did other videos?
No, he shot Antarctica like last year.
Okay, yep, I do remember you putting
shot
that
Antarctica,
video out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a management issue, so that kind of like went down the toilet. We kind of fell out, but
do you feel like that's something that you will be working with him again? Like, you can see yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's my brother for sure. Yeah, for sure. He pull up and he gonna get it done every time for sure.
What about anything outside of the release? I know you got the release of Tetris, you had the performance of Tetris. You talking about the collaborative project that you got with Jay Martinez coming. I think one of the things I had asked you at the end of the year was sort of, what do you see for this next calendar year for you, and what's these different things that you see yourself doing and the things you got planned? Do you see yourself with doing more performances? Is that something that you really want to sort of?
That's really my lane. I want to step in for sure. That's really my lane. I want to step in, is performing more. I've been getting booked for a lot of places, man, and even like the local joints. Like, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like going to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, that too, like seeing the reaction of other people like around the city to my song, it was crazy. Like, damn, this record.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of good people in my corner, like, like Pierre Filmo Die. I had Blazo, shout out Blazo. I had Dion Freeman. Like, they was fucking with it. And it's like, a lot of people wonder, like, damn, they only do favorites, and people only do favorites in the city. But it's like, that's not it, bro. It's like appealing to a crowd. That's what they want. You know what I'm saying? They promoters, bro. Like, some people pay for slides, some people don't pay for slides. It's a business, bro. This ain't just a rodeo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This ain't based off of, what you think you are. You know what I'm saying? It's the work you put in, and being humble and just showing up for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like that's one of the things too, I think can be sometimes underestimated by people, is like people, like the people watch what go on social media, or people watch, interactions or engagements. And I think one of the things you've done like a really good job of this past 4 months of the calendar year so far is, being wise with, when you say certain things, when you don't say certain things.
Yeah, for sure.
Not really necessarily chasing being in certain areas or chasing being in certain spots or chasing being mentioned in certain ways, and being real humble as you having this song, you know, and as you having some of these different things going. And I think that really come across when, you know, because anybody that sort of tapped into the culture, I think one of the things that is inevitably part of like hip hop culture is, you know, for better or for worse, is like the competitive nature that exists within it. And you know, there's, you know, it's different. Everybody compete in different ways.
And they've been showing out, man. Showing out.
Everybody compete in different ways, and I'm always at a sort of the mindset where as long as niggas can as long as niggas understand we do live in a certain city, we live with a certain thing. So, you know, certain lines you got to really be careful with, you know, like
catch your ass on the frozen food aisle.
So you want to be careful with some of it. But, you know, as long as niggas can find a way to, you know, understand that really, you know, a lot of this shit, especially with hip hop and with music, I mean, I think it should be like this just in general with humanity. You should see that we a brotherhood.
Right,
you know, but that's a whole different battle to have with
it's
niggas.
It's a sport, man.
Yeah,
niggas.
But at least with the music, you know, like this a brotherhood, you know, so like, yeah, you know, we should be competing with each other, and that's good to compete. But like, you shouldn't be trying to tear another nigga down for you to get up, you know, because at some point, you know, the table's gonna turn.
They always turn, my nigga. That's why I be the fuck quiet, bro. They always turn. The tables. You watching this? The tables always turn. Be humble, G, because God will slap you in the back of the neck with a sandal.
And so like you really want to be appreciative when you up. You want to be appreciative of it, and then you know everybody gonna slow down at some point where you know you figuring out what your next moves is, and like I've told a couple of different people where you know the culture is it's an ecosystem, and you know the best artists from any of the biggest artists that I feel like that ever came out from hip hop. One of the things that is sort of like a check mark is that your niggas come with you, you know, your city, and eventually your city come with you, you know, like it ain't, you know, it's a thing to, you know, I guess it's a few artists that you can think of where like, you know, they own and you don't know nobody from their city or nobody crew or nothing like that.
Fuck them.
Yeah, you know, but for the most part, you know, like if a nigga break through the door, like niggas want to know where you from, and they gonna start listening to other people where you from, and so eventually other people gonna come through, you know, like, and that's really, I think, one of the markers of somebody who is the biggest artist at a certain point in time in the culture is that, you know, your city big too, you know what I'm saying? Your city hot too, you know, like when, you know, you from Atlanta, it's other people that's from Atlanta that's big. So like it means
something.
You think
you got the sauce from and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
and it's special to be the biggest artist in Atlanta because Atlanta big. You know, it ain't special to be the biggest artist in the city that don't nobody know. You know, like it's special to be the biggest artist in Chicago because Chicago big, you know. So it mean that you at the, you know, the upper echelon, you know, and I think one of the things that's important is having people that's willing to not necessarily be going out their way for the praise, but also doing praiseworthy things, you know, and understanding the importance of, pushing the culture forward, pushing the city forward. And, you know, I think one of the things Tetris has done and, you know, the movement that you didn't have for these 4 months is, especially, you know, even, you know, as an artist, I can say this myself, is keep other artists motivated, you know, keep other artists inspired and knowing like, okay, like, you know, this nigga done to get to this point, you know, I got to know, okay, what am I going to do and step in this space uniquely where I can do some of the same things that he doing, where I'm not necessarily trying to copy his moves, but okay, bro done put up 35 points. Bro put up 35 points last night. Let me work on my jumper. You know what I'm saying? Let me stay in here, get these free throws right so I can try to get 35 points. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know, that's one of the things I was talking to Blackheart. I'm like, it's sort of two type of mentalities, you know. I think that, you know, I do a lot of sports analogies with things where it's a mentality where some nigga looking at the box score for the team that played last night and they see that somebody dropped 40 points and they like, man, fuck this nigga. And they throw the paper and, you know, I ain't trying to hear nothing about what this nigga did. And there's somebody else who they look at the box score, seen bro got 40 points, they lacing up, they trying to drop 42. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that just elevate the game when that's happening. So I think, you know, even just as an artist, I'm always thankful for, you know, somebody like you doing what you're doing where, you know, you elevate in the game, you elevate in the culture. Is that something that you have that's in your mind that you know that you're doing as you're doing it? Or is it something that's just to the side, you ain't thinking about it?
For sure, man. It's always in my back of my mind. I think I always been like that since a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I see things and get inspired, man. And I ain't gonna lie, that's another thing that Islam taught me too, though, is just like modesty and like having grace. You know what I'm saying? And positive vibes, man. Like it's all right, man. If you know what I'm saying, a motherfucker don't want to do a song with you, or it might not be all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like just go with your vibe and follow your heart, bro. Like whatever is coming to you is gonna come to you, regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
definitely.
the moment you give up is when you're cooked.
And so I think that I can really, and I think when we chopped it up last time, I could tell that you was working your way into motion. You know what I'm saying?
For
You
sure.
was working your way in a rhythm, and you still was figuring out what to do next and how to move next. And I feel like I could tell that you have like a lot of the internal struggles that artists have, and you was in the midst of the internal struggle, but also like I could tell you was winning the internal struggle. Like
Nah, for real.
you was over whatever the hardest part of the battle was. You was over it, and you was sort of in a place where you got music, you got these different things, you got these avenues and options, and you sort of figuring out, okay, where I'm gonna go with it, what I'm gonna do, and like I can just tell, from our conversation sitting down now, like that you done sort of got over that precipice, like, and you sort of it's downhill from this moment here,
Nah,
where like
for real.
you just got the momentum and you just snowballing it. Talk to me about what you see maybe like at the end of December, like, or not maybe in December, but we in the second quarter. Talk to me where you see yourself at. I want to get back up with you in the third quarter. Talk to me what do you think we'll be talking about if me and you were sitting down at the third quarter? Well, I guess that'd be like around end of July, August. If we're sitting down in the July, August, what do you see that of things that you would have checked off by then?
Man, that's a good question, man. I would say just like a presence felt, you know what I'm saying? Like throughout the material that I put out, you know what I'm saying? Is it different? You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what I want to do. I don't want to do nothing that's the same. I don't want to like repeat things that have already been done. I want to come up with something creative and that's different.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when like people come to my music, I want them to see that I stand out and that see that. Damn, that's a good ass question. Hold on, you got to cut that.
You good.
Right, I'm trying to put this shit together. Man,
because go ahead. Yeah.
I want people to see resilience. You know what I'm saying? Like I want them to see like this shit ain't stopping. Ain't no one monkey stopping no show, man. So if you got somebody in your ear that's like telling you can't do this, you can't do that, like just do it, bro. You know?
Okay. And then I know that you got did the whole On the Block video come out, or y'all just put a snippet of it out?
I put the whole thing out.
The whole thing out? Okay.
The whole thing out for sure.
And you got that on your personal YouTube page?
My personal YouTube page. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get my page back busting, man. Cause like I feel like I didn't know that either in the beginning when I started rapping. It was like how important it is to be up on your platforms. You know what I'm saying? Like I get a Facebook page, it'd be busting 500 likes, and then boom, I got banned. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker got locked out, and it's like, damn, where's all that momentum? It's gone. I can't get that shit back.
Yeah, that's definitely that's one of the things that take a lot of trial and error of learning is the importance of the online presence, the importance of the social media presence, and then the importance of your presence on like Apple Music and your presence on Spotify and your presence on YouTube. How much of your own engage? So I don't know if what you use personally to sort of distribute your music, but how in tune do you stay with like checking the stats and checking how often somebody listening to the music, seeing which platforms you performing on the most? Like I've been these last maybe I think 4 weeks, I done put out a track every week these last 4 weeks, and really just trying to get back the momentum of getting people back to my Spotify page, getting people back to my Apple Music page. So I tap in with the Spotify for Artists, checking to see, okay, what's this song playing at? Who's engaging with this song? What's my most popular songs right now?